Do you want to know how to create online decision or prayer fellowship cards for your online evangelistic series or church service? Watch this video and I'll show you how. Welcome back. If you have not yet subscribed to our YouTube channel, Devotional Digest, please click the subscribe button below, click the bell so that you can receive notification when we create new videos. So, in this video, I'll show you how to create an online decision or prayer fellowship card that you can use to get feedback from your viewers during your live worship services or evangelistic series. I will show you how to access the information that users post and how to share it with your team. So the first thing that you want to do is to access your Google Drive, which is where you'll be creating the form or the Google form. You do so by going to google.com and clicking on the Google Apps, and there you'll find Drive. Once you get to Drive, you'll click on New and you'll go to Google Forms. Right here you can create a blank form or a form from a template. Right now we'll just simply create a blank form. So here you have a blank template for creating a new Google form. As mentioned earlier, we're going to be creating a decision card that can be used to collect information from your viewers. The first thing that you want to do is to give your form a name. You can say, let's call this online series, decision and prayer request form. That's for the top heading. You can also give a brief description. Usually you'll give instructions, and also in this era it is a good place to reassure your viewers of your decision to protect their privacy, but mainly instructions. So you may say something like, please use this form to indicate your decision or make prayer request. Maybe you can do the instructions about privacy at below, and I'll show you how. The next section is that you have the ability to add questions, and Google give you many different question types. I like to ask the people to indicate their decision before I ask them for their personal information. You can always make this a one-page form, or you can make it into multiple pages, whichever you choose. I'm going to start with a one-page form, and the first question I'm going to add is for the person to indicate their decision or request. So I could say my decision / request, and here Google give you options for question types. Now the type of question you choose is very important. You could easily use a short paragraph for the person to type their request, but sometimes it's best to give them different options for them to select, and maybe give them an other section to type their request. To do that, you'll need to do a checkbox. If you use multiple choice, it would mean that the person can only select one option, but when you use a checkbox, they can select multiple options. So for example, let's say request is I am requesting prayer. You add another request. I am requesting a pastor or a member of the team to contact me. Could be I am requesting literature or more information, or you could say I have decided to accept Jesus as Lord. I have decided to be baptized. Okay, and you could always, as I said, add other, and they'll be able to type any unique request that they have. I'm going to make this one mandatory, so I click the required button, and then I create a new question, which is where they're going to insert their name and information. I could always put a different header. So for example, I could add this section. I could say personal, and I give further instructions. Help us to respond to you by sharing some personal information. You could choose whatever you desire. The first one is their name, and again I made that required. I could say email address. You could make that required as well. Telephone, maybe not required. You can decide. And other information, you could say, you could ask them permission. I always love to do this in online forums. I am giving permission for a member of the team you could add yes or no. Say Google is giving you some suggestions, you could just click on the yes, no, and it automatically add the option. This is a multiple choice, and so you can make it required because they must say yes or no. Or you could, if you want to add maybe, that's up to you. All right, and again, the other thing you could do is to add, your form is basically ready. You could click on the preview button here to look at what it will look like to the viewer, and there you go. What this is missing is maybe your logo at the top. You could add a banner, customized banner. Maybe you have a banner for your series. You could add it there. I'm going to select one from the existing images that are here, but you could go and upload one of them. All right, and that coming up in the header. I could always change the color of the theme and how the presentation of the form and so on. And I give the form also a name. This name is what I'll use to search for it in the Google Drive. I could also change the folder where the form is saved, because that's a factor that will show up when you want to find the form. So sometimes you could say maybe you have an existing folder that you're saving these forms in, or you could create one. You could say decision cards and say save it there. All right, so once your form is ready, then I'm gonna make a request. I'm requesting prayer. One thing I probably should have done was to give an area to request for the person to put in their prayer requests, if it is a prayer request that they are making. So I could go back and add a question. Let me add another box, and I say, please state your prayer request. It is optional. I could say paragraph or short answer. I prefer to use paragraph because it gives them more space to respond. Let me just refresh this, and that should show up. So I'm making a prayer request, and I say, please pray for my family. And then I give my personal information and email and telephone number. And I say, okay, yes, a member of the team can contact me when I submit. That's the form I see. Now you could always change the message that comes up here when the person submit the form by going to settings and do presentation. You could say, okay, thank you for submitting your request. we will connect with you. We'll connect with you and say so. Okay, save. The final section is to find out how do I see the responses. Here Google gives you a section to see the responses. You can see it in different ways. You can see it summarized. You can see it question by question if you're doing maybe a survey, or you can see it individual. If it's more than one person's, you'll see them show up here and you'll be able to navigate through the different responses. And you see this person's response. You could probably print it, and there you have it in that format. But another way to do it is to create a spreadsheet by clicking here and create, and it will show up. It will create a new spreadsheet that will show you the list of responses here. Okay, so here's my response. And the good thing about Google Forms is that you can share this information with members of your team. Let's say maybe the evangelist need to know who is making prayer requests and so on. You could do share and type the email address of the persons or person that you want to share with. Let me share it with myself, and maybe click a message and click send. Okay, it's going to warn me that the person is outside of the associations, but I'll share it anyhow. And that's it for sharing and notifying and sharing the responses. One final thing I'll do is to show you how to create a multiple page form. So let's say you want the request to be on one page and then the personal information on another, or how you decide to do it. What you can do is to add a section. So you can come here and then add a section, and I'll call this personal information. I can delete this, and what will happen is that this section will show up on one page and this will show up on another. Let's go back to the form and submit another, and you'll see right there that the request is on one page, and I'm making a request again, prior request, and I click next. It asks me for my request and personal information. So you have a multiple page form. Maybe you want it's maybe easier to navigate, or for display purposes, why you want to create a multiple page form. Alright, again, this can be used. I did merge decision and prayer fellowship in one, but you can separate them. You can have separate forms for this, and as I said before, you can also use this for registration form. In the next video, I'll show you how to do the quiz, because creating a Google quiz will take some different features. Alright, thanks for watching. Just before I close, I would like to add one last bonus point to the creation of your online forms, and that is when you're going to share the link of your form. As you can see here, when you preview your form, the link that is shared is a lengthy one, and it might not be convenient to share this to the public. It's not only is it lengthy, but it's not saying much. So if you copy this link, you can go to a website called tinyurl.com, and you can decide to paste your link, and not only will you get a shorter link, but you can also give a unique name to your link. Hope for today, not available. Alright, let me say hope for today, JA. Right, and then you can copy your link to the clipboard, and there you have it. When you paste it, that's the link you'll paste in your chat, and you can use to access your Google form. Alright.